Why has Jagex gone and put the soy jack meme on sailing? That's yeah, not off to a good start. But sailing, poll number 1. Let's have a look. Our first update on sailing in months now. We did the beta, or the alpha, sorry. I enjoyed it, but there wasn't enough content for me to fully be happy with how the combat system's going to work, because that's going to be the big one. So, GZ on number 1 spot in the chat there, Julian, my man. Let's have a look. I don't care about the lore. Let's move on to the great conch. I like the conch. Oh no, is that after this bit? Okay, hold on. So so we've got 3 different polls that are coming in. So, cast your minds back to the first time you stepped foot in Guild. I don't know. Okay, today's blog you'll learn about brand new areas, quests, and even a new training method. To preserve the magic of discovery, we won't be sharing too many details about the islands you'll get to explore, just enough to spark your sense of adventure. Exploration is key, is a key part of sailing reward space. As you master the storms, yep, okay, who cares? Slay creatures, training methods, that's good. It's incredibly important to us that you have the opportunity to shape this content. So in the months ahead, you can look forward to at least 3 polls. Oh, okay, so we've got 3 polls coming. Shit. Poll 1 is about quests, air expansions, deep sea trenches, which is where we are now. So we've got a poll coming soon. Then we've got skilling content and resources in poll 2. Then poll 3 is creatures and unique rewards, including community vote on the sailing pet and the play. Don't do a sailing pet. Oh my god. Why would you do a sailing pet? Do pets through sailing the same way you do Slayer pets. Do it through the content. But, okay, whatever, sure. And the Play Design Skill Cape competition, which, alright, cool. So, Sailing Pole Roadmap is about the Great Conch. Tortugan quests. Small-scale sailing quests and deep-sea tralling. Pole 2 is about skilling. So, we got wood cutting with new trees and logs. How fucking exciting. Mining with new rocks and ores. How exciting. Fishing with new methods and fish. How exciting. Hunter with a new method and creatures. How exciting. Farming with a new patch type and produce. How exciting. Thieving with new NPCs, chests and stalls. How exciting. Construction with new planks and ship parts. How fucking exciting. Smithing with new ship weaponry and ammo. Probably the only decent one I've seen here so far. Crafting, new fabrics and nets. How exciting. New range weapons with fletching. New metas and foods. Oh, new meat, sorry, and foods. How exciting. And new potions and ingredients with herbal. How exciting. So basically, I mean, it's not bad, right? It's not a bad thing that they're expanding on the content, but does this seem somewhat overwhelming as a new skill? Like, sailing is just buffing everything else. I don't think it's bad. It just seems like to make sailing good, it needs to just be incorporated with everything. I mean, how else do you do it, right? It seems underwhelming. Well, I mean, you're only looking... I mean, what do you find underwhelming about it? The ranged weapon that fires harpoons? I have no idea. What this content entails, we don't actually know. It just seems really... Yeah, it's really like... Sailing's going to let you do every other skill better. Does this mean it fixes things like smithing? People don't like the way you train smithing. New potions overload? Maybe that overload might come from the vampire questline. Who knows? How are they going to make a new skill, every skill at once? I don't know. No, please give me a passive and entertaining way to train other shit. It's the only way I'll do it. I understand that. I mean, if you get a new passive way to AFK fishing, that's not bad. New method. That's what, I mean, they have that in the boat. It's, If it invites all that to the game, then absolutely. It depends on what these methods are. That's the thing. It just feels like sailing is really bringing... And I'm currently on the side of pro sailing, by the way. It feels like sailing is really... The point of it is to buff other skills, or the way that you train other skills. And less about the sailing... How do you get sailing XP out of this? Is this unlocks through sailing? Let me look at the skill tab here. Is this sailing unlocking this content? Or is this using this new content to level sailing? Like, at what point does sailing start to feel like Slayer? I don't know. Peconi, thank you for the €2, mate. I appreciate that. combat, content, and rewards. So this is poll 3. We've got new Slayer tasks and creatures, new bosses, new, of course, the big stuff, the stuff we want. Potential raids. I'm glad they didn't put raids on here. That's good. I'm glad they did that. New herbs seems reasonable, but everything else has an AFK aspect. I mean, we got new herbs. All of this stuff here is sailing, wood cutting, mining, fishing, hunter, farming, thieving, construction, not construction, smithing. Okay. All of this here that you're seeing right now in poll 2, we got with Valamor. Literally, this is Valamor. And Valamor isn't a skill. Right? So, what's sailing going to bring to the table that Valamor doesn't? That's the question we got to ask ourselves now, I think. This is just my opinion. But, sailing is an area, so is Valamor. Valamor is a minigame. So, what is sailing going to do differently to Valamor to the point that it feels like it's a skill? I don't know. Doing the sailing itself was fun. But... shit. I think overall, still, I don't think this is regardless, this will not negatively impact the game. No matter what, this will not make the game worse. I don't see this like it might make it feel a bit more overwhelming at first, especially for players who are already in the game. But I don't think it's actually it's not going to be bad for the game. It won't kill RuneScape. It won't make RuneScape a worse game. It just feels like my original statement back when sailing was announced was it shouldn't be a skill, it should be an additional aspect of the game in terms of like how they did the old Current favors and things like that. Yeah. Was sailing fun enough to become a core part of every account instead of simply being an option? Yes it was. I think so. I think sailing being a core part of the account is fun. These are just poll topics. I'm looking at this and going, how the fuck does this work for sailing? But we haven't looked at the poll. We're in poll 1 for now, so let's look at areas, quests, and activities, because this is where sailing will really make sense, right? So, they're just poll topics at the end of the day. Let's have a look here. We got the Great Conch, which I'm looking forward to the Great Conch, because I think that's a sick name. So, what does this go? So, if you get to the Great Conch, you will discover tungstens. As the island will contain a mixture of new content and rewards that will be polled separately. For now, here's a quick overview of what you might expect. A host of existing woodcutting trees, as well as the new Jatoba and Camphor trees. They'll give expanded uses to fire making and fletching. Additional mining, hunter, and fishing spots, plus a new blue crab hunting using hinged lid traps, offering new crab meat and to be used with cooking and herb lore. Maybe they will finally have a decent version of the barbarian mixes that aren't horseshit. Fuck sailing, we want whaling. True. Whaling's not a bad idea. Little shortcuts here. So this might be the high tier hunter area, but looks of it. Okay. Nice little conch island. All hail the conch. I'm all for the conch, dude. I love the conch. Just make all levels trend up to 126. Make it fun for maxed accounts. Sure. Extra cowquat farming patch can be found here. Another cowquat. Okay, that'll be, okay, over there. Also submerged just off the coast, you'll find the coral nursery where you can farm coral. Useful resource for making new items out of. I think that's cool. I like that. Coral farming. Okay. Bit more than seaweed. A bit more expansive than Fossil Island. Where the fuck are they going to fit all this? Top of that, you can expect all of the usual new spots, amenities, creatures, and more. So what does sailing unlock the island? You can't dock at the island unless you have the sailing level. Would you like to add the Great Conch? I think the island sounds good. The new island. I think this all looks great. And I understand that I get the sailing aspect, but what's the difference between going from Dig Site to Fossil Island and going from Port Sarim to the Great Conch? And furthermore, if there's a teleport to the Great Conch, why would you sail there once you've been there once? The only way they're going to keep sailing remotely relevant is if they start incorporating it into high-level PVM and quests. Could screw everyone over and make going to Fossil Island need a sailing requirement? They could. But you got Fossil Island teleport, so You don't need, once you got the level, that's it. The island has a magic barrier preventing teleports. But then what, you can teleport out though? The beta, didn't you have to have a certain level to access certain docks? You did, yes. But what happens if you can teleport there? You have to sail there for the first time, then they're making alternative routes? Okay. What happens when you sail to all the islands? And you just, how often, like my point is, once you've unlocked all the islands, how often are you actually physically sailing again? You won't, but you'll go there to be closer to sailing activities when you want to do them. That would make sense, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Okay. It's a big ass island. There's a lot of dead space, which I guess is just typical. Pretty much anywhere where there's hunter, there's just there's a whole lot of nothing, eh? But that's just how RuneScape has always been. If there's hunter, like look at Valamor, the big Sahara. It's just a bunch of empty shit because it's all for hunter, you know. Same with like Felled Up Hills and stuff. So woodcutting, fire making, fletching. On the Great Conch, you will find familiar trees like teak, mahogany, and yews, as well as a few new trees found in the Sacred Grove. That's pretty cool. So the tungstens love this place. So you get the Jatoba trees and the camphor trees. Very good, mate. Very good. So we'll share, they'll mostly be used for the quest line, and the camphor logs will be wider impacts on farm making and fletching. So Jatoba is just for the quest. Cool. Alright, so we have mining, fishing, and hunter spots. We saw how much you liked bank crabs, so we'll do one better. On the Great Conch, we're proposing a new hunter training method, crab hunting. There's a brand new training method which involves catching crabs using hinged lid traps. Once caught, you can use a knife on these creatures to obtain meat for cooking and herb lore. Okay. Cool. For farming, tree runs. Oh god. The Great Conch will have an additional cow crab patch as well as a brand new farming method, coral farming. Yep, coral nursery is a new farming patch where the coral fragments can be propagated into until they mature. Unlike normal patches, these nurseries are found in the sea. During refinement, we call this a hybrid training method. But since we think it makes sense for it to be just farming. Okay. All right. Cool. Once again, you'll need to wait for our skilling content and resource poll blog for further details. No worries. All right, that's fine. I don't think that's too bad. I like the coral farming thing. It looks like it could be pretty cool. What does this have to do with boats? Yeah, I don't know what this has to do with. So the sailing unlocks this content, which is great. I'm glad we're getting what sailing will unlock for us. It's more about what the unlock has to do with sailing, I agree. The tungstens have a humble folk living close to nature, making their own tools and homes. Alright, so we've got the quest. The troubled tungstens experienced difficulty. They've got griffins here. I hope one of them is called Peter. The first quest will focus on the player meeting an injured tungsten called Flooper. Okay. That's good, mate. And then the Red Reef. There's another one with Flooper with a potential new threat. That's good. So we got two experienced quests coming. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Hell yeah, look at that guy. Fucking Ninja Turtle, dude. I fuck with him. That's a low-ranked guard. Hopefully they're good for medium clue scrolls. So in the first quest, you'll meet. I don't care about the fucking quest, mate. What are the rewards here? 10k sailing XP, 8k Slayer XP, and access to the Great Conch. Alright, so you can't access the island unless you do the quest. Fair enough. And then this one is 15k sailing, 5k smithing, and access to new tree resources. Very cool. Alright. No, it would actually make sailing sick unironically. Moving the actual sailing. You fucking hate sailing, dude. Alright, so small islands. If you took part in the sailing alpha, you might have noticed several small islands scattered throughout the ocean. Some of these you may have visited, like the Pandemonium, while others are brand new and waiting to be explored. When you're not on land, it can easily feel like you're being swallowed up by the endless blue tiles. There's not much content existing around you. In our early playtesting sessions with NDA players, we noticed that without any useful landmarks or navigation, players could easily get lost. Who the fuck's getting lost? Having more sailing islands instead of a few larger ones doesn't just solve it. Solves the problem, it makes it the ocean feel more alive. Okay. More islands will also support gradual progression from 1 to 99. Rather than giving you one massive island at 30, then have to wait till 60 for another one. During the sailing alpha, we hadn't yet balanced this content, so those of you who played have visited islands at lower sailing levels than intended. Be assured that on launch, all islands will have a proper balance pass to ensure that content is level appropriate. Alright. So, we won't enlarge them for me, but we've got a bunch of different islands here, which is good. The islands above are just the appetizer. Our next poll blog will be sharing more information on skilling activities and new resources you can find in the small islands. Each island will have its own unique feel from the climate. I don't give a fuck about climate, dude. Small islands can also give us a place to add future content like PVM challenges, skilling opportunities, and more. Right. Obviously. That's why we're only polling the activities and rewards available, not the islands themselves. They're a core part of sailing and the critical part of bringing the ocean to life and opening up the sailing reward space. We didn't poll Lumbridge, did we? Oh, fuck, I hope that last bit was a joke. We're also aware of community interest in procedurally generated islands created by an algorithm, much like the Runes of the Gauntlet. We did do some initial investigating of that process during the game jam, but there's still a lot... Mate, you're not doing procedurally generated islands in old school RuneScape. Shut the fuck up. It's not happening. Another thing that came up in discussion is whether you'll need to set sail every time you want to get to a specific island. Here we go. As exciting as sailing is, traveling back and forth from A to B constantly could get tedious after a while. We want to clarify the islands that we've docked will always have an alternative access method, provided you've sailed there by yourself at least once. Sailing isn't just about traversing the seas, so we want to make it convenient to get to where you want to go. Rest assured that alternative methods will be on theme, like teleports. Some islands will have mooring points, rather than docks, where it makes when it makes sense. Some of these islands will have teleports. Okay, they'll also have a teleport to boat spell, which will give you a great deal of flexibility. Okay. So, fucking hell, look at this. That is so fucked, cunt. Oh my god. I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, but look at this. Look at the fucking map. Look what they've done to my boy. Look what they've done to my boy. The RuneScape map, it's fucking flooded. Look how fucking stacked that is, cunt. Compared to this. Just everything. It's new Valamore Air Exposed. Yeah. Hold on a fucking second. Fucking. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the new Valamore. Oh. Got a little thingy here. And a little thingy here. And a little bit of thingy here. Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I can't read it though. But look how much fucking land there is. Or space there is in the ocean being taken up. So many islands, born too late to explore the world, born too early to explore space, born just in time to explore a bunch of OSRS islands. That's it, dude. It feels good. Okay. I do like that. But fuck, that's a lot of exploring. Holy shit. It'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting. For now, to help breathe life into the ocean and many locations, we'd like to propose releasing a number of additional small quests set through the oceans. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, I have no problems with that at all. Ocean season, hazardous waters. Yep. So you got different oceans and different waters. You may have noticed that we've mentioned oceans a couple of times. Yep, the untamed oceans. Perfect. Look at them all. It's not even lava. We transformed the previously monotonous blue tiles into various different oceans. These large areas are the seaborne equivalent of the regions and their on the mainland. The Asgarnia will mostly exist for similar thematic reasons. Most of them will be available on launch, but some will be added afterwards. Okay. I don't know if it's a smart idea to launch sailing without the entirety of sailing available. I feel like if the entire ocean of the game isn't available on sailing launch, that's bad. I understand if you want to progress and build on the skill in the future, like how they progress and build on skills today. But if you're going to add a new skill to the game, maybe try to have as much of it available as you can, even if it means pushing it back another 6 months. Has 10x the amount of content as like 7 skills and it's not even out? It does, absolutely right. But I think a bit of confusion with even me at the moment and some people is looking at these potential polls that are coming is what the fuck, like poll 2 especially is sailing is unlocking all of this for you, but how are you getting that? What are you doing? We did the alpha and a lot of it was just doing port tasks. Then you unlock the island, and then what? Like, once you've maxed sailing, are you ever sailing again? I guess once you max... Oh, God, the example. Fire making, you're never fire making again. I get that. But I think skills that are more successful are skills you use even after they're maxed, like farming and herblore and combat, even Slayer, you know. Those skills are useful and worth doing even once they're maxed. I don't know if... I mean, sailing becoming that might just kind of suck. But I guess it might not be too bad of an idea as well, I guess, if you get all the content. As long as I can push a sea creature to extinction with large harpoons, I'd be happy. That'd be pretty sick. They come out with a better training method later. It'll undermine people who got it high on release. Nah, that's the rune crafting problem, but fuck them. I think we should not fall to that shit. Has to be tied into PVM somehow to be successful. It does, and that's what they will do. They will tie it into PVM, of course. That's the best way for them to have success of it. They got a new hybrid training method here. Here we go, deep sea troweling. So, deep sea troweling is a new hybrid skill, which is sailing and fishing. Okay, taking place in the deep seas where you can catch new rare types of fish. So, tracking down a shoal of fish, optionally with the help of your sonar orb facility. Optionally, spread some... What do you mean optionally? Fucking what? Spread some special bait made from the fish off cuts, stored in a chum bucket. Okay. Facility to increase your fishing duration and catching effectiveness. Okay, so it's kind of like barbarian fishing where you can have fish off cuts, but it's not worth your fucking time. I like the word chum though. That's cool. Navigate over a shoal, and deploy your troweling net facility while keeping your ship aligned with the shoal as it moves. Okay, so you sort of... Okay, so you're kind of moving the sailing boat. I see. Oh, right. Okay, so it's kind of like catching dolphins in real life. You know when they put those big nets out in the ocean to catch fish and they accidentally get the dolphins and then they die? Same thing. Gather fish in your net to receive fishing and sailing XP, optionally storing any fish caught in your cargo hold. Once the shoal is depleted, you can move on to finding a new shoal. Cool. As you level up and venture into deeper parts of the sea, you'll be able to get higher tiers. They introduce more complex gameplay, new hazards, and contend with, but also rare fish to catch. Right, so there could be, you know, you could have a kraken trying to attack you while you're fishing, and then you get little krakens to eat, maybe little kraken babies. That'd be pretty cool. Or octopi, which would be pretty nice. Or even dolphins. You could eat them, but you got to like avoid dangers. Maybe Davy Jones comes out of his locker and tries to finger you, and you've got to like kind of dodge that while you're catching the fish. That'd be cool. All right, if that's a challenging way to level fishing and sailing, I'm all for it. I like it. During refinement, we explored several hybrid training methods, including deep sea troweling, mineral dredging, and coal farming, and sea monster hunting. Sea monster hunting should come to the game. I like it. These were all received positively, so we picked one to flesh out properly before launching. I think you should be doing sea monster hunting. Personally, I like this. I think this actually looks kind of pretty cool. But I think if you wanted to really give sailing the most positive aspect and positive outlook from players, you need to start talking about PVM and Slayer more. Because that's what 90% of the fucking player base wants to do. Is this all multi-XP? No, that's for these, some methods are. So hybrid methods, like these ones here, these are multi-XP, yeah, these ones. So this is fishing and sailing. And then there's fishing and Slayer, fishing and farming, sailing and Slayer, sailing and farming, sailing and mining. But that's not all methods, that's just some methods. Never been a fan of sailing as a skill, but I mean, it could be worse. Absolutely, it could be worse, yeah. Okay. I think Jagex should start talking more about PVM soon, if they really want to get a more positive outlook from the community. Trolling net is a core facility that unlocks the deep sea trolling, of course, that makes sense. The chum bucket is additional, yeah, I mean, this is fucking common sense. So gameplay loop, you pretty much explained that to us, which is awesome. The offcut sounds good, that's pretty much already used. So, standard fishing offcut tiers. Oh, so you can use other offcuts from new fish, I like that. And then premium offcuts will be coming soon to a channel near you. Very cool. Alright, deep sea trolling fish offcut tiers, which is marlin and bluefin, yellowfin tuna and halebut and giant krill and haddock. Fuck me. Okay, cool. I think that looks pretty good. Very good. All that text is pretty much summed up in this little chart here, which I like these little charts. Okay, that's a nice little method. I believe they have a survey at the bottom, which I absolutely will not be filling out, for the love of fucking God. Because fuck that. But, I stand by the statement that sailing will be fine. Sailing will not kill RuneScape. Old school RuneScape will be absolutely fine with sailing. Should you vote no? I think if you vote no on these polls, all they're going to do is come back with revised revisions and not scrap the idea. So I think you should vote based less on whether you want sailing or not in the game, and vote more on if this was to come to the game, how do you feel about it? I think this new farming patch with the coral is actually a good idea, even if it had nothing to do with sailing. I think that's pretty cool. You know, new trees. I don't give a fuck about new trees and shit. The conch. Who doesn't want the great conch? I'd vote yes for the great conch, even if sailing wasn't into the game. You know, they're voting. I think the poll is more about, do you want this content to come to the game when sailing comes out, and less about, do you want sailing in the game? By the way, you're getting this. You know, sailing is happening regardless at this point. I believe that's the case. Yes, I want the conch, so we're voting yes on the conch. Give us the conch. I agree. We're gonna conch it up big time. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.